Man, what's up? What's happening, everybody? You already know who it is and what it is. It's Beyond the Game. Your first time tuning in. It's your boy Q Walker, and as y'all can already tell, they on some foolishness already. But I'm gonna let the guys go ahead and introduce themselves. I got my guy Ralph in the build. Ralph, go on and introduce yourself one time.
What's up, world? I'm ready to get into it. Let's go.
We got my dude, and then we got our very own Ram ambassador on the show,
Let's go.
Brewski LA Rams in the effing building. Drew, Brew, go and introduce yourself real quick one time, man.
What's good, y'all? Hope y'all enjoyed the show yesterday.
Yes,
and,
sir.
and then we got everybody's favorite guy who they love to hate, B Legend in the building. B, go and introduce yourself, my guy.
Man, I don't even know what to say. Let's just get this thing going.
And then we got Mr. Hood Love Me, Joe Burrow Daddy, aka Hot Dog in the building. Hot Dog, go introduce yourself one time, man.
You know what it is. I've officially adopted Joe Burrow as my son. I've been riding the Bengals all playoffs long. I think I've earned it. Joe Burrow's that man. Let's get it.
Let's get it. So let's talk about yesterday's championship Sunday and our takeaways from the two games that we seen yesterday. I can't wait to hear what B Legend has to say about Pat Mahomes. But before we get into that, Ralph, what was your takeaway from both games yesterday?
Both. It don't matter which one.
It don't matter which one.
Pat Mahomes comes up short again in KC. Has home field advantage. Starts off very well. 21 makes everything look good, and then from about that second quarter until the end of the game, just he wasn't the same guy. It seemed like the Bengals made adjustments on defense, but Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes weren't making adjustments on offense. Shout out to the Bengals, man. I think I'm not for sure how the panel feels, but I'm happy to see the Bengals make it to the Super Bowl after so long. I feel like that organization deserves it. It's been a very long time since they've had to or been able to feel success, and some of these Bengals fans have become ridiculous. Like roaches, they have come out. I don't know where some of these people have come from, but everybody's a Bengals fan now. But shout out to Cincinnati, man. Well played game. They came back. Cool Joe does it again. So shout out to the Bengals in that game. As far as the LA game, I don't think we knew what we were watching at first. The Rams start out fast. Then all of a sudden they're down 17-7, and we're like, no way Jimmy Garoppolo is going to beat this Rams team. And I'm glad that they found a way to pull it out. Another one, shout out to Matthew Stafford. He deserves it. He pulled through. The Rams are a very tough team, especially offensively. So that's my take on the two games.
That's his take. Brew, what was your take on both games yesterday? What was your takeaway from it?
Little like Ralph said, I've been pulling for the Bengals. I don't know why I didn't. I kind of felt like I'd be throwing away money because when it's a team like the Bengals, you seem to win 10, 11 games. So you try not to fall for the trap again. But since about week 8, Willie Mays, Spook, he'll tell you, I just been in on the Bengals. And I did not place a bet on them to make the Super Bowl because I did think they were only going to go to the AFC Championship. But once they got that stop before halftime, I had a feeling that the Bengals were going to come back and win that game.
Bye.
I don't like kicking field goals inside the 5-yard line, but with only 9 seconds left before halftime, I'm kicking. You know what I mean? But shout out to the Bengals. Shout out to Zach Taylor. You know, that's a Sean McVay disciple. He's starting his own little coaching tree. Rams game. That's why I talked so much to Jones all week in the little chat because I just knew we were going to beat them. Now, the thing that kind of swayed me a little bit was like, we're going to beat them, but why do y'all want to make me have to worry about
it? Man. They made y'all worry for real.
We drove down the field instantly. Well, second drive, drove all the way down the field. I'm like, cool, we inside the 20.
Had a fluke interception.
Then he throws an interception trying to force the cup. So then I'm like, okay. But then right before halftime, Skoranek from Notre Dame, I like him because he's fast, but this man don't know how to adjust to the ball.
Man.
He dropped the wide open one. Cup dropped the wide open touchdown. So that kind of
surprising.
I thought y'all were destined to lose when Cup dropped it.
That's what I was about to say. He don't do that.
He don't drop nothing. I was like, they are destined to lose.
That was my thing. He seen all that green grass, he dropped it. But my thing was the thing that really pissed me off about Sean McVay was when we got down 7-7, he went right down the field. We went down the field in 2 minutes and scored. And I'm
Took
like,
no time.
if you can do that, why couldn't you do that for the whole second and third quarter? So, but anyway, we won Super Bowl, father versus son, coach matchup. I like the Rams. The Bengals offensive line just so bad, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't put the Bengals away, they can come back on anybody. So,
Man, B Legend, talk to me, man. What was your takeaways from the games yesterday?
Oh man, well,
Show some respect to Joe Burrow. Show some respect.
First and foremost, I'm gonna be completely 1,000% honest with you guys. I have never. That's been the first Bengals game that I've watched. Seriously. I never looked at them as even a possibility of winning anything. They were never even on the radar screen. That literally was the first game that I watched, and I really didn't even watch the whole game because why? I looked up, it was 21-3. I said, "Oh, this game is over with." But of course, the way Kansas City plays, the game's never over with because they always find some way to make games close. And that's what they did yesterday. I think when the arrogance that they showed on the 2-yard line or 1-yard line, they said, it's 5 seconds left. You know what? We're the Chiefs. We're not going to take the point. We're not going to kick the field. We're not going to take the easy 3 points. We're going to go in for a touchdown. And we're going to throw this little wide receiver screen over here to Reid because he's fast and he's just going to score the touchdown. Well, I looked at that play and I still cannot comprehend that play. That's one of those. I know Patrick Mahomes didn't call that play and the Reid called that play or Eric Bieniemy called that play. It just made no sense. No, seriously. I can't remember which one it was. It wasn't Patrick Mahomes that called that play.
It was Andy.
And it just made no sense. But I'm not letting Patrick Mahomes off the hook. He played well. He played well in the first half. The second half, he was just non-existent. But I think the other side to that, though, is that I think that the Bengals defense had a lot to do with that, too.
Absolutely.
Because when you think about it, so when the Bengals took the lead, Kansas City marched straight down the field, got to the 5-yard line. Now, come on, man. You can't take a 20-yard sack.
No, it wasn't a 20-yard sack. He just got sacked, I think, back-to-back plays, and I think he fumbled.
But I'm saying, but even still, you can't.
Can't give it up.
You're on the 5-yard line. The play don't work, throw it away. The great's gonna throw the ball away. Tom Brady gonna throw the ball away. A-Rod gonna throw the ball away. Those guys gonna throw the ball away. So from that perspective, he comes up short. But you can't take anything away from not Kansas City, but the Bengals defense because they played in the second half. They played well. So hats off to them. Am I shocked? No, I'm not because their arrogance cost them the game, and they deserve to lose. Kansas City deserved to lose that game. If they won, it would have been. And I said it because we were all in the chat, and I said it. They're gonna lose this game based upon their arrogance, and they did. So they deserve it. I don't care. They deserve to lose. Now, the Rams. I don't even know how we went through this. D always wants to say, "Oh, come on, legend, come on, man, just what? This is Jimmy G, man. You knew damn well that Jimmy G was not gonna win.
Trash.
I know he wasn't gonna win that game.
Trash.
Especially fine. Okay, here we are. We're playing. Jimmy G's got to score a touchdown to win the game. Now, D, you actually gonna sit there and try to tell me you were concerned that Jimmy G was gonna drive
a little bit,
score a touchdown.
No, I was never. No, they were done. Kyle Shanahan knew they were done too.
He was talking,
but it didn't matter. In your defense, I said what? I turned it on and said, "What the hell's going on here?" Because I didn't understand what the hell was going on.
Right.
And Q chimed in and said, "I don't know what the hell going on either," because it didn't make any logical sense. Right. But I never swayed because they have too much firepower.
Yeah.
They had too much firepower not to be able to get in the game. Now they could have lost the game, but I never swayed from it. I never even thought twice about it. I knew they were
going to lose all week.
Yeah. I mean, and I've always said that. Odell did Odell things, had 100-something yards. Cooper had 100. Cooper Kupp had 100-something yards. Dude, you get those two guys going like, what you gonna do?
Nothing.
Take the L.
Yep.
I mean, that game didn't surprise me at all. It went exactly where it was a little bit too close, but it went exactly where I thought that it would.
Joe Burrow, Daddy, give me your takeaways from this weekend's yesterday's championship Sunday.
Man, I tried to tell y'all Bengals gonna win all week. Y'all didn't want to listen to me. All I heard last week, there ain't no way the Bengals gonna keep this going. Actually, y'all been telling me it's crap since the first week of the playoffs. Every one of y'all had the Raiders winning. Why? Derek Carr ain't like that. The Raiders ain't like that.
Because it's the Bengals.
And then next week we got the Titans. Ryan Tannehill about to press somebody. Y'all serious? Come on, man.
This guy.
Come on. Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times and still won on the road.
Oh, man.
Then next week, I told y'all they beat the Chiefs once, they could do it again, and they did. Now, I have a problem with a Bengal, though. Eli Apple. I'm sick and tired of Eli Apple. Who does this man think he is? He can get on there and talk crap to everybody. Who does he think he is? He was burnt toast in the first half yesterday. Burnt toast. They had to take him off of Tyreek Hill just because he was getting burnt. Put Mike Hilton on Tyreek Hill, who in my opinion is the best corner the Bengals have, and I don't think Tyreek Hill did anything in the second half. I could be wrong, but I don't think he did. Now, did I think the Bengals were out of it down to 21-3? Yes, I did. I thought it was over with. But I saw a meme yesterday. And, Legend, I want your opinion on this. It said after the 15 plays that are scripted by Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes looked like Jamarcus Russell. Now, I don't know who in the world would do that.
I'm not gonna do that.
That's disrespectful.
Oh, man.
Now,
Joe Burrow's
on super disrespectful, bro.
Joe Burrow's daddy's on
that's
so what I'm saying is, I don't think that's true. Pat Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen. I just thought it was funny.
That's questionable.
But no, it's not. Stop it. Pat Mahomes is still great.
He is. He's great. He's great.
I think Lou and Marino, whatever his name is, I can't pronounce his name. I think he made great adjustments in the second half, and they shut down the Chiefs in the second half. They only gave up 3 points in the second half.
They did. Man.
So I think he had, and then it was just a great comeback. Joe Burrow made some great plays. Chris Jones had him halfway down. Got out and got that 8-yard gain.
Sure did.
But man, I'm telling you, everybody talking about the Chiefs gave the game away. The Bengals try not to take it.
Yeah.
The Bengals had a chance to take a touchdown lead, and Joe Burrow threw that interception on that deep comeback route by Javius Sneed, which was a great interception, by the way. I was very impressed. But Eli Apple, man, you got to stop this, bro. I'm telling you.
Don't worry about Hot Dog. He gonna get his.
Yeah.
He gonna get his.
We'll talk about that next week.
We gonna get
Now, as on to the 49ers game. I was wrong. I thought the 49ers were going to win. I said it all week. I was wrong. D, I'm happy for you. Your team won. You're going to the Super Bowl. You don't get on my nerves, so I'm happy for you. You don't get on my nerves like these Buccaneers fans do.
Talk about it.
Yeah, Q, you involved.
Yeah, you right, Hot Dog.
Yeah, Q, you involved. I hope you watching. You involved. All you Buccaneers fans, Jesus Lord. But anyways, I thought the Buccaneers pass rush would be a lot better than it was yesterday. I've been saying all playoffs, Matt Stafford, the true Matt Stafford is going to show up and mess it up. He hasn't yet. Hopefully he does in the Super Bowl. But I was wrong. The 49er, Jimmy G is trash. Jimmy G garbage.
That's an understatement.
You know what, Hot Dog? You know what I compare the Bucs fans to?
What's that, man?
LeVar Ball.
Here we go.
I
was waiting for some disrespectful inch to jump off. Here we go, ladies.
brother. That's terrible. So, man, I'm feeling it today. I went and got me some rose gold sunglasses like Joey B like to wear. I got me a cigar.
You gotta light it up, bro.
I ain't never smoked a day in my life. I'd probably die if I tried to smoke this thing.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Stop. Hold on. Hot Dog. So I want to make. I just want to make sure I understand. I ain't talking crazy. I want to make sure me and you. I want to make sure I understand.
I got you.
Are you a Cowboys fan or a Bengals fan?
I'm definitely a Cowboys fan, but I have admitted this whole playoff. I'm on the bandwagon right now. I'm on the bandwagon.
I just want to make sure.
Oh no, man! After the season's over, I'm gonna put the Bengals tire away.
Back
to
the
navy blue.
Okay.
Back to the base.
The Cowboys are out of the playoffs. The Cowboys, they sucked it up. I picked the Cowboys to lose first week. Y'all remember? I picked 49ers.
Yes,
Cowboys.
Yes, you did. I just want to make sure.
No. This is not permanent.
Listen, hold on. I just want to make sure because we all know this. These are facts. That you are not one of the, I don't know,
usual Cowboys fans.
Millions of people that are all of a sudden they're
Bengals fans. I'm telling you, bro.
No, I am. No, I fully admitted after the first week that I'm on the Bengals bandwagon. I'm going to ride it till the season is over. Okay. And then when the season's over, it's back to navy blue.
You know
what? Hang on. I got something for y'all. Wait a minute.
What you got for us over?
Hang on. Wait a minute. Y'all see my Bengals jersey?
We see the ceiling fan.
Here, legend.
Okay.
More comfortable now.
We got to get you a Dak Prescott.
We good.
No. Number 4.
We gotta get
His name's number 4.
That's what you need.
You're right. You're right, hot dog. Number 4. Who is
that? Man is trash. I tell you, Ralph. I tell you.
You tried to, bro.
My takeaway, real quick,
analysis on the Rams 49ers game. Jimmy G is who we thought he was. He's out of there. Man, good luck to Trey Lance next year because he's the guy.
To me, the takeaway is real simple and easy, bro. As much as we love high scoring offensive games, at the end of the day, it's still defense that wins championships. And at the end of the day, the 2 games was ended on pivotal defensive plays, which the Bengals with the interception, and then in the Rams, was that the Rams game, the interception as well? So it's defense wins championships. Yeah, Joe Burrow's dope. Matt Stafford's playing out of his mind. Jimmy G's gonna be Jimmy G. Pat Mahomes did his thing, well, for the first half anyway. But at the end of the day, it's still all about the defense. So to me, moving to the Super Bowl, it's all about who got the better defense. But we'll get to that next week. But anyway,
man, shout out to the big man, B.J. Hill, that nice interception off Legend's son. That was beautiful. That was pretty.
Speaking of that interception.
So wait a minute. Hold on, one more question. So how I want to make, is this official that Joe Burrow is officially your son?
He is my adopted son, yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Q.
We got it on record. So speaking of the Bengals and what they did, the Chiefs was up 27 to 3 going
21 to 3.
21-3. I'm sorry. 21-3 going into halftime. They had the ball on their own.
No, it was 21-10 at the half.
Okay, 21-10 at the half. Before the Bengals got the ball, the Chiefs were on their 2-yard line? Was it
2-yard line before halftime?
2-yard line. Went for it on all 4 downs, could not score. The Bengals got the ball.
No timeouts.
No timeouts and scored 21-10. And then y'all know the rest of what happened in the second half. So did the Chiefs choke or did the Bengals defense step up? For me, I'm going to go ahead real quick, make it simple and easy and plain. To me, it was all about adjustments. The second half, the Chiefs made 0 adjustments. The Bengals on defense made all the adjustments. All they asked Joe Burrow to do was just not lose the game, and the defense was going to step up. Eli Apple, they learned from their mistakes and said, nah, bro, we got to get you off of Tyreek. They made that switch, and then y'all seen what happened in the second half of that ball game. The defense really got after Pat Mahomes. I don't know if Pat Mahomes was just shook or if he was just – I don't know what happened to Pat Mahomes, but he was a totally different quarterback in that second half than the first half of that game. So for me, it was more so the Bengals took the game than the Chiefs choked because – they were the more aggressive team. The Chiefs only scored 3 points in the second half, which was, in the fourth quarter when they kicked the field goal. Other than that, the Bengals had control of the whole second half. So, to me, the Bengals took the game from the Chiefs, and Pat Mahomes, is Aaron Rodgers Jr. But go ahead, Ralph. What happened, man? Did the Chiefs choke or did the Bengals take the game away from them?
Q, I like that. Q.
I'm going to keep it simple, too. Patty Mayonnaise is who we thought he was. I'm giving all the credit to the Bengals defense and the adjustments that the defense made. I will give a little bit of the percent to Kansas City in that offense. I just don't know what happened to it in the second half. I just don't know where it went to start off that fast and all of a sudden you can't do anything. But again, you have to give credit to the defense. That front four was getting pressure on Pat Mahomes. They had him out there running like I think Andrew said, like a chicken with his head cut off. He didn't know what to do at times. So I give all the credit to the Bengals defense and the adjustments they made in the second half.
I know it, Adam. I should have never said, "Hey, who that nation?" Y'all kind of quiet. As soon as I said that shit,
They woke up.
it was 21-10. It was 21-10. And I was like, man, I can't delete the comment. Now I got to post, bro. I can't say nothing.
I think Joe Burrow is one of the few quarterbacks that thrives under pressure.
So Super Bowl Sunday, I'm
quarterback.
not posting nothing until after the game. I ain't saying nothing until after the game. Big Brew, man. Did the Chiefs choke or did the Bengals take this game away from them?
I'm gonna go about 60% the Chiefs choke. And I just gotta be real. When you up 21-3, you're supposed to be, quote unquote, the best quarterback in the league, the best offense, the best two weapons, and then you won all those games. I mean, think about it. My guy Josh Allen played out of his mind last week.
Yes, he did.
And they still beat them. So if you can overcome that type of play, there's no excuse why you should blow a game when you up 21-3. So I got to give it to them. They took their foot off the gas pedal. I mean, they tricked it with not taking those 3 points before half. Like I said, I don't like kicking field goals inside the 5-yard line, but with 9 seconds before halftime, that changes, the mindset.
In the playoffs too, D.
Third quarter, I'm not kicking. But when you getting the ball back, it just doesn't make sense. But so yeah, I'm going with that. You got to give about 40% to the adjustments. I'm not going with the D line though. I'm going with the secondary. They kind of went man and plastered. They did a little tug on the jersey a little bit, but they plastered. That was what made Pat Mahomes have to do all that scrambling because there was nobody open. So they helped the D line get to him. So 60% Chiefs tricked it. 40% I'm giving credit to the Bengals secondary. Now it's interesting to me what will happen in the Super Bowl because everything that Zach learned was from Sean McVay. So it'll be interesting to see what type of plays they call on offense. And I don't think all those deep shots will be there, not with Floyd and Donald and Von Miller. So
no.
Yeah.
Big brother versus. So it sounds like for the Super Bowl, it's going to be big brother versus little brother.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And McVay just be his big brother. So
I think Zach Taylor's older than Sean McVay, though.
Okay.
I think they're about the same age.
I was going to say McVay's about 37, 38.
Because Zach Taylor was
35.
And Sean McVay's 36.
Okay. So they're right about it, around the same age. Okay. B Legend. Did your boy Pat Mahomes choke or did the Bengals take the game?
And did you ground him? Did you make him walk home after the game?
Oh, you damn right he did.
I'm just wondering. Have you all ever seen Blades of Glory after Jimmy McElroy ties against Will Ferrell and he unadopts him? He disowned his son. Is that what you did yesterday? You kick him out of the limo, say, boy, walk home. Walk home with that dumb brother of yours and your annoying wife.
Oh, my God.
I'm sick and tired of it. Go ahead, Legend.
You sure?
I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
So here's my take on this, man. And D kind of talked about this, man. First of all, as I said earlier, I mean, it's the arrogance. I mean, it's the arrogance. They thought just like I thought. I didn't pay Cincinnati any attention. Who the hell is Cincinnati? I mean, they ain't won nothing. I mean, Ralph want to give the organization credit. I mean, hell, they hired Marvin Lewis, had him there for 8 seasons, couldn't win nothing.
I said I was happy for him, man.
Wouldn't me make any changes? So I mean, I can't. The organization, I can't give them credit. They're trash. I mean, they just made a good. They got lucky and picked up Zach Taylor. I mean, that's just my 2 cents on it. And they got lucky to get Joe Burrow because they trash. So I mean, because they didn't win. So
but you're not happy that the Bengals made it after all these years?
No, that don't bother me. I'm cool with them making it. I mean, it's good to see parity in the league. Yeah. So that part really don't bother me.
That's it. But
the reality to it is, the arrogance that Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Eric Bieniemy showed was just asinine to me. That just made no sense. This is the playoffs. This is the AFC Championship. You take the points. They didn't take the point. They just thought look, if you, like D said, you played Buffalo, you scored a touchdown in 13 seconds. You scored, you kicked the field goal, got down the field. Come on, man. And you on a 5-yard line? And you can't score the ball? and you just so arrogant. Instead of taking points, you just gonna go for it anyway. It makes absolutely no sense. So to me, it's the arrogance is the biggest thing for me. I mean, I just think they did a piss poor job in play calling. I think Patty Mahomes in the second half played like crap. He took some terrible sacks that he shouldn't have took. Good quarterbacks, that are on their A game don't take 15, 20-yard sacks. And he happened twice, 2 times in a row. You don't do that. You get rid of the ball to keep yourself in a position where you can score the ball. You're already inside the 10-yard line, and you take 2 sacks. Now that man got to kick a 48-yard field goal just to tie the game. That's how ridiculous that it was. But at the same time, you can't take anything away from their defense. They locked down. I mean, they had somebody over the top over Tyreek all day long. The defensive line was rushing. They were able to get in the interception that Pat Mahomes threw. He threw it because he was trying to get that ball over, that lineman's hands, and he did a good job. And he just got up and hit the ball in the air, and he caught the ball. So it's because they were getting penetration on their offensive line into the backfield, and they weren't blocking it. And I don't know what the hell it was, but you got to give credit. So for me, I'm more like 55-45 on blaming the Chiefs more than giving, than the defense. I get a defense 45, I get a Chiefs 55.
That's fair. Joe Burrow, daddy, what happened yesterday, man? Did Pat Mahomes choke, or did the Bengals take this thing?
I think Pat Mahomes was scared of Joe Burrow yesterday.
Lord.
I think that's what it was.
Lord.
Joe Burrow has arrived. Nah, man, for real. First of all, I want to give some credit to the refs. They really let them play yesterday. That first drive where the Bengals got the first field goal, Higgins got pass interference in the end zone.
No, he didn't.
That was pass interference.
Nah.
That should have been ball at the 1-yard line going for a touchdown. But, of course, that set up for a field goal. There was a lot of, I think D touched on it, a lot of tugging on the jerseys yesterday. There could have been a lot of holding calls yesterday on both sides, not just one.
Sure.
But I think Legend nailed it. I think it was just arrogance. They were cocky. They were up big. I think they should kick the field goal, go into halftime at least 3 points. I thought that was I think the defense woke up that right there when they stopped Tyreek on the outplay. I was very surprised they stopped that because I thought it was going to be a touchdown. I saw it coming a mile away, but I think it was more adjustments. They took Eli Apple off Tyreek Hill because Tyreek Hill was burning this man.
Kill him.
It was horrible. And they took it. They said, "All right, we put Mike Hilton over there." That's who should have been on Tyreek Hill from the beginning was Mike Hilton. He's the best corner they got. I don't know where they put. I think Eli Apple went over to cover Kelsey, which he did a solid job the rest of the day. But it's like I said that the Chiefs tried to give it away, and the Bengals really didn't want to take it until B.J. Hill got that interception off of Patrick Mahomes. So I think it's more or less. I think the Bengals made great adjustments. I think they buckled down like they did the first game because people forget the first game the Chiefs were up 2 touchdowns in Cincinnati.
Came back.
And they came back and beat them. Mm-hmm. So
they shut Kelsey down that game.
They shut Kelsey down the first game. And they shut Tyreek Hill down the first game too. I think the first game was the McCole Hardman Byron Pringle show, if I'm not mistaken. So
Chase went off for the Bengals.
Chase went off. He had a good game yesterday, not a great game. I think T. Higgins was the guy yesterday.
Yeah.
So but anyway, man, it was a great game for Cincinnati. I'm happy for the fans. I don't think a fan base really deserves it more than they do.
No.
But
no, they fans don't deserve nothing.
Q, now you understand how we felt with y'all last year.
They don't deserve nothing at all. I don't care. Cincinnati Bengals.
Stop it.
D-Legend hit on it earlier. They don't even know what their fan base is because people just popping up out of nowhere.
You're right. I agree with you.
Fan base.
I agree with you. Hey, I'm just on the bandwagon. This isn't a long-term decision.
So. But at least you can admit it. At least you can admit it, hot dog. My bad, Dave.
Go ahead.
The past 24 hours,
it's been crazy, bro.
It's been popped up with. I've been a big. Where was this energy last year when y'all was 4 and whatever?
Hey, I don't know all these fans. I know Adam Kent's a real one.
We're not talking about them. I'm talking about these fools at work.
Adam Kent.
I didn't know they like sports.
Vance
and all of a sudden
Wade,
they got Bengals stuff on.
those three people, I know they've been repping Bengals all season.
They've been
long.
repping. I give them all the credit in the world. They deserve it.
As the clock struck 0 yesterday, my news feed blew up with.
Oh, it did.
And I'm like, hold on. First of all, I didn't even know you like sports. But
exactly. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I had to tell a few people that today.
This is the most random Super Bowl I could. The Rams, we knew going into the season, Matt Stafford, they were a contender. Yeah. But nobody, not even me, I didn't even think the Bengals were going to make the playoffs. I'm just saying, man. He said Bucs fans are worse than Bama fans. Yeah.
Nah,
it's just one Bucs fan. It's just one. It's ice.
Don't even worry about the Bucs. They're gonna be banned for the next 5 teams. So don't even
worry
about it, man.
We'll be the Denver Broncos again.
It's all good.
Packers fans, Buccaneers fans, Patriots fans.
Packers fans are the worst.
I'm like, now y'all all Bengals? All y'all Bengals fans?
Hey, let them live, man. The Bengals deserve. My dad has been a Bengals fan since I was a kid. He's happier than anybody I know. He deserves it.
I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? If you've been a Bengals fan and you're going through I'm cool with that. I'm just talking about the people who I've never seen post.
Never.
Right. I know what you're talking about.
For the past 2-3 years, all of a sudden, it's Bengals everything. All Bengals. I'm like, hold on, bro.
Hey, all I know is
first of all, you like glad. Soccer. Like, how you a Bengals fan now?
I'm just glad the Bengals didn't have to play the Bills because I think we talk about it all the time. Sports is about matchups, and I said it all last week. I said the Bengals need to cheer for the Chiefs because I don't think the Bengals could have beat the Bills. No, and I still believe that to today. I think if it was the Bills, I would have picked the Bills to beat the Bengals. It's all about matchups to me. And
Bengals fan 50 years, he said the same thing. He was like, I don't think we'll beat the Bills. That's exactly what he said.
That's what I'm saying. It's the Bengals will not have beat the Bills. And I just don't believe they would have.
But here's the thing, and when I said this, people were like, oh, you hate. I was dead serious because this was a legitimate question. It was like, there have been no, like, the Bengals fan base is so small. Like if you compare it to, I don't know, Green Bay, Buffalo, I mean, hell, you could compare it to the Bears, you could compare it to all these other things.
I don't know a single Bills fan.
I know some.
I know some Bills fans.
Y'all know more Bengals fans. Y'all do Bills fans.
Well, that's just because of the location. But
that's definitely location.
But they're trying to move Buffalo out of there. They're trying to move them to Austin, Texas.
Here's my point, though. Here's my point.
That would be
when I brought it up, and I was like,
I agree, Ralph.
You talk about the ratings on this. I mean, it's like they don't have a big fan base, so
it's a small market.
It's a small market, so good for the small markets. But what I'm saying is, the ratings, I don't know, I truly don't. If you think that the ratings are going to be high because of Joe Burrow and Chase, I disagree with that. I mean, you're going to get some people to jump on a bandwagon, but the ratings ain't going to be big because of them.
The Bengals are an exciting team to watch. I know me and you had this discussion, I think, today or yesterday. The Bengals are an exciting team to watch with that offense.
I mean, maybe, and I'm literally talking football, whether it ain't had nothing to do with playing Kansas City. I didn't see anything spectacular in their offense.
I didn't. Not yesterday. No.
Not yesterday, but
that's my point, though. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. That's been the first game that I really watched. So that's all that I know. But I just off of that little small sample size that I get. I mean, I don't see anything. Like if I look at the Rams offense, I look at their defense. You want to see that. You see what I'm saying?
Why? But so what's more exciting about the Rams offense than the Bengals offense?
Well, number one, the names.
I was gonna say it's names.
Names by themselves.
They get all the primetime games. It's LA.
I don't want you to think I'm hating on your Rams because they're in the Super Bowl. They deserve it, but you got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, CJ Uzomah.
But see, hold on. We know that because we watch football, but to the casual person, like say B Legend, like he just watched the Bengals for the first time. Take B Legend and put him as another fan watching the Bengals for the first time. And he's like, okay, like the Bengals are cool. I mean, you watch the Rams and the whole game was like a damn near a concert. Like it was exciting to watch. And then you had Jalen Ramsey, you got Aaron Donald, you had Matthew Stafford, Odell Beckham Jr. And then let's be 1,000. You got you got Cooper Kupp, who's a white wide receiver who's killing, People want to watch that.
So
People
what
wanna
you're
see what
saying
he's
is
gonna
because
do.
more people have watched the Rams because they've had more primetime games. That's right. Is that what you're saying?
Well, not because
it's not about that, bro.
I mean, people just know about the Rams. I mean, they just know about the Rams. I mean, it just, and I know maybe it's hard for you to conceptualize that, but it's a small market. Nobody has paid attention other than people in this market.
I agree with that, Legend. You're right. I can agree with that. But like
compared to the Rams starting lineup, I will give you Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. But I will barely give you that because I would rather probably take Matthew Stafford over Joe Burrow. I'd rather have Cooper Kupp or OBJ over Chase. So it is the names, bro. It's the names. It's that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying?
But there's two more receivers on the Bengals besides Jamar Chase.
There's a reason why I didn't name them. There's a reason why I didn't say them, bro.
Yeah,
I know there's two other receivers. There's a reason why I didn't say them. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're not good. But the Bengals have had to come up to a certain level. People haven't always had them at that level. That's why they're not the more popular team.
I see what y'all saying. They're definitely not the more popular team. I can agree with that 100%.
Well, how about this, Hot Dog? Let me ask you this question. Let's step away from Burrow and step away from Chase. Other than on defense, I don't know any of them dudes. Eli Apple's been trash for years. He done went from team to team. I don't know any of those trash. Dudes. I mean, I'm not trying to be sarcastic or anything. I couldn't tell you anybody on their defensive line.
No, I agree with that. There's only one player on that defense I would take, and that's Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, he's a dog.
He had 14. He had 14 sacks in regular season. Missed a couple of games, and I think he had 2 sacks yesterday.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, see,
number 91.
No, yeah, I know. I mean, I'm being serious. I mean,
I might say Hubbard's good too, though. Man.
Yeah,
Hubbard's solid. I like Hubbard too, but it's the Trey Hendrickson show on the defensive line.
I'm thinking to myself, if I'm the NFL, did I really want the Cincinnati to win? No.
But now here's the deal, Legend. It is hard for them to get players to come in because it's a small market, like you said. But I think now you got Joe Burrow, you got Jamar Chase. They got a young, solid core on that offense. Yeah. If this Bengals team could just get help in that offensive line and just a little and a linebacker, they got to have a linebacker.
But the thing, what you saying, Hot Dog, is what they can be. What we talking about is what the Rams are right now. When we look at the Rams,
I agree with you.
That's what they are right now.
I agree. I admit that the Rams have the much better defense, the much sexier looking defense. They
offense too.
When your number one receiver, is Cooper Kupp. He's the great white hope.
I agree.
When we drafted him, but I'm a Rams fan.
Right.
But
you didn't see it.
Compare the number 2 receiver being T. Higgins, and then your number 2 receiver is Odell Beckham. It's not comparable.
But we ain't even talked about Van Jefferson, bro, who came off injuries, who is dope. Come on, bro. Like, they got a nice offense over there in LA, man. Really nice.
Tyler Boyd. I thought he was all right a couple years ago, but he's
all I'm saying.
Now he's the third option. I mean, when he was a 1 and 2 option, he put up good numbers, but now he's the number 3 option. He puts up number 3 option number. He had over 800 receiving yards this year.
All I'm saying at the end of the day is this. I'm glad they won parity in the league. Tampa didn't go back. Mahomes
love it.
Back.
I love it.
All that's fine. So from that, I'm cool with that. All I'm saying is that I'm gonna step out of that equation, and I'm gonna say, from the standpoint of money in the NFL, they didn't want Cincinnati.
Of course, you know what it's about.
I agree with that.
You know what it's about.
I agree with that too. Nobody wanted them in there.
They didn't want that at all.
They wanted.
You know what? But you know what? I could care less what the NFL wants.
Absolutely.
I could care less.
Bye-bye, KC.
You know what?
Bye-bye, Tampa Bay.
People have been saying, the NFL is scripted and whatnot, and that goes back to B. Legend's point is if the NFL was really scripted, you don't think they don't want a Rams KC matchup, a Stafford versus Pat Mahomes? They definitely would much rather.
They wanted it.
If the NFL was scripted, don't you think they would put the Cowboys back in the Super Bowl by now?
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, they ain't going that damn far. They're not that desperate. No.
They got too many other
options.
What
are you talking about?
They got too many options out now.
Hey, Donovan, popularity don't make you win games, though. So you can't even say they don't have a chance.
Oh, my God, bro.
We ain't going to go that far, bro. But anyways, Let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals and they win yesterday. They've been on the road here in the playoffs. Well, coming into the playoffs, they've been on the road. So the question is, are the Bengals a legit team, or have they just been lucky and got hot at the right time? I'm gonna go ahead and kick this thing off for me. I'm gonna just say the Bengals are legit, and the reason why I say the Bengals are legit is because there is a guy who, in his second year in the NFL, first year starting, took his team to the Super Bowl. And when he did that, everybody said they were legit. We fast forward, Joe Burrow. Technically, this is his second season, but I mean, he got knocked out to an ACL.
First full season
start. Yeah, first full season start, and he took his team to the Super Bowl. So if we're gonna say that guy is legit when he did it, we got to say this team is legit. And also, not to mention, Joe Burrow knocked out the guy that I'm talking about. So we got to say the Bengals are legit. So I'm going to say, yeah, they hot, but they are for real team right now. Ralph, what's your thoughts?
What you talking about? Yesterday's news?
Yesterday's news?
Yeah, that's his new name. Yesterday's news.
Yesterday's news, Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes.
Ralph, why you hating on Pat Mahomes?
I said it is what it is.
I don't get it.
I'm just saying the height. It's I don't want to. I mean, we'll ask later. It'll be a quick hitter, but I got a question for y'all. Is Pat Mahomes going to be the Aaron Rodgers of the future? But we'll save that for later. Yeah. I'm just going to keep it short. I think the Bengals are legit, man. The Bengals have proven themselves over and over, game after game. They've won the games that they needed to win. The Bengals are legit, man. They're in the Super Bowl for a reason. I think Joe Burrow is a rising star in the league. I'm not going to say. I don't know where y'all going to rank him as far as quarterbacks, but I think Joe Burrow's up there. I think his toughness. He was the most sacked quarterback this year. 9 sacks against the Titans, and somehow the Bengals still find a way to win the game. So I think Joe Burrow's real. I think the Bengals defense is real, and I think they're definitely a legit team. And in a couple weeks or a week or so, y'all see who I'm picking to go to the Super Bowl and win it all.
I can't wait for next Monday.
Oh, I can't either. I wish it was here now.
Daniel, Big Brew, man. The Bengals legit, or they just got hot at the right time?
No, I mean, like I said, since about week 7 or 8, I've been on the Bengals. I still, to this day, I was driving after our game and like, why did I not just go ahead and put like $100 on the Bengals to make the Super Bowl?
That's killing them, man.
I'm the AFC Championship anyway. But I mean, I was riding with the Bills though. I wanted to see my G.I. Josh Allen get to the Super Bowl
for sure.
But,
is that your son, D?
Yeah, that's my son.
There you go. Let him know. Adopt him. Go ahead right now.
Sounds like one.
We all got one, man. Well, Legend got 2 or 3.
Yeah, Legend got more kids than I need. I was scared of child support. I ain't want none of that.
Stay away.
Stay
away.
Man,
but now, that's legit. Like I said, I've been on Joe Burrow since LSU. When everybody was on Trevor Lawrence. Once I saw him play, I was just like, man, this dude can make every every throw. So, and of course, they won that championship when everybody was with Trevor Lawrence. I won a lot of money, and then the Bengals got him. And I was a little worried about them not getting, offensive line for him when they took Jamar Chase, but it worked out.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I think the Bengals are legit, man. They got a chance. I think the Bengals are a scary team. If you don't look, just 21-3 is not really putting somebody in, out of their misery. Nope. Because now there's so many rules in place to where you can't play. If you got up 21-3 back in the day, 20 years ago, you wasn't.
It was over.
It's over.
Yeah. They could kill you back then.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think if we don't put them away, they'll have a chance. I can give 1,000 reasons why we should beat them, but we'll see what happens.
Man, I can't wait till next Monday show, boy. I'm gonna be Legend to cook last on this one because I got to hear him. Hot dog, who you got, man? The Bengals legit? Are they just hot right now?
I picked the Bengals to win all 3 playoff games so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're legit. I think that offense is legit, and people don't talk enough about their defense. They went out and spent a lot of money on that defense in offseason. We got Chidobe Awuzie, Mike Hill, and Trey Hendrickson, DJ Reader last year. They went and got somebody else. They haven't paid Jesse Bates yet. They're going to have to pay him the offseason. Jesse Bates had a bad regular season, but he has been hot in the playoffs. I think he's got two interceptions in the playoffs. They went and got Von Bell last year as well from the Saints. They don't have a lot of stars on that defense, but they have a lot of names on that defense. Sure. A lot of solid contributors. So I think the Bengals are legit, and I mean the Rams should be the favorites in the Super Bowl. I think they're a 4-point favorite right now in the Super Bowl. But it's like D said, the Bengals are a very scary team. Joe Burrow can make about any throw you could think of. He is a real $40 million quarterback, unlike that bum in Dallas. But I just think that I just think the Bengals are a legit team. I don't think they're lucky. I think they had favorable matchups in the playoffs, playing the Raiders, then playing Tennessee, and then I thought the Chiefs were a better matchup than Buffalo. So I think the Bengals are legit, and I think it's going to be a great Super Bowl. A great Super Bowl.
I finally came around. I didn't want to do it. I put some respect on the Bengals name. They're a legit team. F they fans, but the Bengals team is legit.
Man, my brother-in-law, he's a diehard Bengals fan. He's been a Bengals fan at least over 10 years since we were in high school. But, man, he about made me want to hate the Bengals.
See what I'm saying? They come out of nowhere. Be legend. What happened yesterday, man? Are they legit? Are they just get hot at the right time and clicking on all cylinders?
Well, I'm going to say this. I mean, reality is what? Any team that can get to the Super Bowl, you got to give them credit, So I'm going to say from that perspective, they're legit. But let me also say this. This shit one year and done. I mean, let's not get this twisted. I mean,
they won it done?
It's 1 year and done. I mean, they have, to Hot Dog's point, I think they have favorable matchups. They're going to have to make some type of improvements. In order to keep this ball rolling.
Offensive line.
The reality is this. Let me ask the question. I mean, you think any, big time free agents want to come to Cincinnati?
I think they'd like to come play with Joe Burrow.
And I think, yes, the Joe Burrow effect. I think they will.
I think it's going to be a lot easier now.
I get it. Hey, guys, let's always keep
Devontae going to Cincinnati.
It's all about the money. God. It's all about the money, guys. They want the opportunities. They want the marketing. It's all that.
They have a top five. Top five.
No. I'm saying it's just a small market, from a marketing perspective and things like that. But regardless of any of that, I mean, I think it's 1 year and done. Not because I'm going right back. Next year. You gotta look at the Bills. The Bills will come out and be stronger and better next year. Who the hell knows? The Kansas City can't figure out how to run the ball. Nothing's gonna get better with them. You still got Justin Herbert and them Chargers out there, even though they failed. They just gonna get better every year. I mean,
are they?
Oh yeah. And Denver, it just depends on what happens. If with Denver, they get a quarterback?
That's all we need.
Because they got talent out there as well.
Oh, we need.
Definitely, I agree with that 100%.
They got to figure that whole thing out. I mean, you look up, man. The AFC will mess around and be, the hardest conference that's sitting out there. So that's why I'm saying that to say that the Bengals don't go back next year. Nah, I would put my money on it.
I think the AFC has the best up and coming quarterback. Because over on the NFC side, those quarterbacks are old.
That's no question.
No question. But you go out there, as everybody, a lot of people are talking. You put A-Rod on Denver squad. What does that do for them?
Super Bowl.
Let me say this way: it's gonna make them more competitive. I'm not gonna say they're gonna win the Super Bowl. It's gonna make them more competitive, right? I mean, so at the end of the day, man. I mean, I think the favorable matchups, went, in their favor this year, to get them where they needed to be. But I don't think any of us, other than you, Hot Dog, if everybody wants to call it the way they see it, I don't think even with those matchups, I don't think everybody on this panel will sit there and say that they anticipated that the Bengals will win all three of those. I don't believe that. Ain't nothing. The only person that I could even remotely think would say that would be you, Hot Dog. But the rest of us would never admit that. I mean, that's just not real.
Hey, Mr. Kent just said that the Bengals were 2 overtime losses away from a number 1 seed in the AFC.
Well, I
mean,
man,
you go
that's
back
fine, but at the end of the day, I mean, they lost. Whether
you go back to that Packers game week 2. Evan McPherson ain't always been whatever his nickname is now. He missed him and the kicker for the Packers missed like 4 field goals that game.
Yeah. I mean,
there's one game they gave up, and then they gave up the 49ers game. It's like they gave up a lot of games this year. And then they lost to the Browns twice, and the Browns were garbage this year.
Yeah. And that's all I'm saying. I mean, it's like things happen for them, the ball bounced the right way for them, and it's good. It's great. But to think they're gonna come back and do it again next year, I ain't buying it.
The Bills.
I got a question real quick before we go on to the next topic.
Yeah.
Why is it that people assume that if A-Rod goes to the Broncos, they'll automatically be Super Bowl.
Because that's all we need. That's all we need.
2 weeks ago.
But answer me this, okay? What do the Broncos have that the Packers don't have? The Packers got everything the Broncos got, and look what the Packers did. Nothing.
No,
I think the Broncos have a better.
They got better
receivers.
Yeah.
So hold on. So you mean to tell me
and better running back.
Devontae Adams is arguably the best receiver in the game?
He is.
You got
Jerry Jeudy.
No, I'm talking about for the Packers.
You got Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams.
Lazard. You got St. Brown, and you got
a bunch of guys.
Yeah, don't name anybody else after Devontae.
Okay,
exactly. Thank you, D.
So the Broncos wide receiving core, who is it?
Jeudy, Sutton, Patrick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got Fant at the tight end.
Noah Fant.
Y'all get to a name. Y'all wake me up when y'all get to a name.
Are you serious?
That's fine. Because it's not Chris Godwin. Oh, it's not Mike Evans. That's
right. They got
get him.
They got halfway decent receivers.
Because we ain't got old Gronk.
They ain't got a quarterback.
We got a legit tight end in Noah Fant, who's probably one of the upper top 5, maybe 6, maybe tight ends in the league.
And
I don't know where you want to rank them.
Two really good running
let me
backs.
ask y'all this real quick. All we've heard is if Aaron Rodgers had a defense, did he not have a defense this season?
They was hurt, but he had a defense for.
Okay, so
and his offensive line, he's missing his main piece of his offensive line.
So did the Broncos have a defense, right? The Broncos
absolutely,
have
yeah, they do.
So A-Rod's gonna go to the Broncos, and he still has to go through the Chiefs twice. He has to go through the Chargers.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem.
The Raiders twice. Why would he go there when he could just stay in the AFC North and beat the Bears twice, beat the Lions twice, beat the Vikings twice? He's not coming out of the AFC.
I don't think he's going. I don't think he's going.
Yeah,
there.
It's just an if.
I don't think he's going there. But I'm just saying, just to make my point, all I was saying was that the AFC, they're growing. They got good quarterbacks there. They got good teams there. They're going to continue to get better. The quarterbacks are young, so they're going to keep getting better and better and better. So that's why I'm saying, whether it's Mahomes, whether it's Joe Burrow, whether it's Justin Herbert, it ain't gonna be Derek Carr. But my point is, some of these guys are just a good quarterback away. Now I don't know, what quarterbacks will come there, but I'm just saying.
If he goes to the Broncos, the Raiders don't have a chance in hell of beating them.
Oh no.
The Chargers' chances of beating them is slim.
Talk your talk, Dan.
The only chance would be the Chiefs. It's the thing. They have 3 and 4, 700, 800 receiving yard guys that are playing with no quarterback.
Come on, talk your talk, Dan.
You got a running back that's rushing for over 1,000 yards. You got a backup running back that's rushing for almost 1,000 yards. That's better than what he's got.
Yeah.
And then
you said Daniel, you said that the Chargers. So let me ask y'all this: we talking about Aaron Rodgers, who got beat not once but twice by Jimmy G in the playoffs, and y'all think Justin Herbert can't beat this guy with a better surrounding cast?
The 49ers have a better team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The 49ers have a better team than who? The Packers?
They have top 5 defensive line. They have one of the best linebackers. Deebo Samuel's probably the most versatile wide receiver in the league. They got the best tight end in the league. They got Eli Mitchell, which was a steal, but
and I think the other key,
the quarterback is trash though, and
that's but here's the key:
they don't play through him though.
But see, and that's the whole key. I mean, reality to it, if you call a spade, when you talk about the Packers' defense, the defense ain't that good. They can't stop the run.
Absolutely,
right. They haven't never been able.
So how the hell they get the number 1 seed?
Well, because they just beat
because of A-Rod.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when they destroyed Dallas and all that. Did they play Dallas?
No.
Everybody destroys Dallas. That's not nothing new.
Well, I'm just saying.
Come on, man. We stop it. What did I do?
The only thing I'm gonna say to what Q said is I get your question, Q, because everybody assumes because we got the OC from Green Bay that all of a sudden that's just setting up everything for A-Rod to come to Denver. I get all that. My only thing is the reason why Aaron Rodgers didn't win in Green Bay has nothing to do with him winning in Denver. I think a lot of him not winning in Green Bay has to do with everything that's there, man. He doesn't get along with the organization. I mean, they should have got rid of him a long time ago.
I think
I just feel like he's not unhappy. I just feel like there's been no chemistry there for a long time. There's been no camaraderie there for a long time. That's why Green Bay can't seem to be successful in my eyes. And the only reason they lost to the Bucs last year is because Aaron Rodgers refused to run the ball to the end zone. Let's not forget that. I mean,
Aaron
come
Rodgers
on, bro.
is a diva, and he lets it be known
Aaron
he's not
Rodgers
happy.
choked. So basically, what you're saying is Aaron Rodgers chokes in the playoffs.
He did. Yes.
What makes you think he's not going to choke for the Broncos?
Because it's a new situation, a breath of fresh air, bro. It's different in Denver. Weed is legal, bro. He can chill. He's good. He's good, man. Chill.
Okay. I said, even if he went out there, I mean, the Bills gonna be tough.
The Bills still gonna be tough.
Bills gonna be tough to get through.
Josh Allen got something to say, man.
You don't know what Kansas City
talked about it. There's so many quarterbacks in the AFC. Why would Aaron Rodgers go there and instead of staying in the AFC?
I don't think he's going though.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going.
I'm just saying based on what
he's gone. AFC in general. I'm just saying any AFC team in general. Why would you ask for a trade to go to that conference where you can stay in the NFC?
Because I believe he has nothing more to prove in Green Bay, and the relationship is dead. The relationship is dead. The relationship is dead.
He's got an easier route to get to the Super Bowl in the NFC than he does the AFC.
Of course.
And now with Tom Brady out, who in the hell in the NFC gonna beat him?
Nobody.
Wait a minute.
So that's why
why not? Wait a minute. Aaron Rodgers wants to leave.
Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance.
Why don't he go to Tampa Bay? He don't have to leave the conference.
Because I feel like he wouldn't want to come and play behind Brady's footsteps.
I'm not watching football if he goes to Tampa
Bay.
I'm not.
Theoretically, that would be a good idea, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers wants to come behind Tom Brady. I don't think he would. I don't think he would want to do that. Yeah, so
I would like him out. I would like him out in San Francisco, but I don't think that's gonna happen either.
No, I ain't trying to listen to Chris Jones.
Yeah, so I was about to say, Lord have mercy.
Absolutely not.
Y'all got two choices. He go to Tampa, and y'all listen to Ike, or he go to San Francisco, and y'all listen to Chris Jones. Which one y'all want?
I'm not watching football next season.
Or he could just
I'm quitting the show. I'm quitting the show. I'm quitting the show.
Hey man, I need some faces to these comments. All these anonymous people.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna put the link in the comments for y'all to click the link. If you want your picture to show up during the show, click the link, and when you make a comment, your picture come up during the show. Is it a comment that you want to hit on, Daniel?
No, the first one that caught my eye was Bengals -7.
Oh man, get the hell!
Let me break it up. Hold on, let me find it real quick.
And then there was a couple more.
D, don't feed into that. Don't do that.
Feed it to it, Daniel.
It was another crazy one I saw. Hold on.
Don't feed into that foolery.
Somebody else said we'll be back again next year. I'm like, man, who are these people, man?
Dude, I'm just telling you, D, do not feed into this foolishness.
Here we go. Here's the Cincy by 7. There's that one.
Like I told y'all, they gonna put Ramsey on Chase, and who the hell else gonna beat him?
Who's going to cover T. Higgins? Who's going to cover Tyler Boyd?
I don't think Darius Williams can cover T. Higgins because Darius Williams is a good cover, but he's just too short. So if you 6'3", 6'4", he's going to be in your pocket, but you just so tall he can't do that.
But you keep forgetting the fact that you got them monsters sitting up there on that defensive line.
It's not going to be no deep shots. It's definitely not going to be a lot of
let's not get this thing misunderstood. It's hard to run the ball on the Rams. Plus, they got them animals down there. They're going to put pressure on Joe Burrow. They're not like Kansas City. If Aaron Donald on there get in, and Aaron Donald going to make that tackle. Yeah. He's going to sack Joe Burrow.
He's going to try to hurt Joe Burrow.
Yeah, this thing twisted.
Man, y'all been hating on the Bengals all playoffs. And where they get y'all?
I'm not hating. I'm just talking straight football facts. I'm not hating.
And we gotta stop saying that so much hating. Just because you say something about a team, don't.
I knew they were going to be the Titans. I knew.
Because defensively, what are Cincinnati? What's the DBs gonna do with that? With them juggernauts over there? Who? Okay, let's make it really simple, hot dog. So, who you gonna put on Cooper Kupp? Because the other person you're gonna put Eli Apple on Odell. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
You're gonna put him on Cooper Kupp. Good luck with that.
Put Mike Hilton on Cooper Kupp.
Who's gonna guard Tyler Higbee?
Good luck with that.
You
still got Van. Who's gonna guard Van Jefferson? You still got
good luck with that.
That's a
When
secret
is
weapon.
Van Jefferson a superstar receiver?
Bro, he's been there. He's
He's
been good before OBJ came.
I didn't. Nobody said he's a superstar, dog. Nobody said
he's been good. He's been good, bro.
He's very efficient in that offense.
Absolutely, he's been good. Go back and watch the tape.
He does what he's supposed to do.
Absolutely,
he moves the chains and he gets you a deep ball once or twice a game. So he does what he's supposed to do.
Legend asked me a question. I'd like to finish answering if you don't mind.
Go ahead, sir.
So put Mike Hilton on Cooper Kupp. I'm not saying Mike Hilton's going to shut Cooper Kupp down. It's impossible. I'm just saying that's what they should be doing. He put Chidobe Awuzie on OBJ because Chidobe Awuzie has had a good history of shutting down OBJ. Not shut him down. And then you could sacrifice old burnt apple butter bread, Eli Apple, and put him on Van Jefferson, superstar receiver all of a sudden. So
nobody said he was a superstar because he's a good receiver, bro.
Van Jefferson had over 800 yards receiving.
But you ain't got to tell. I seen him. I watched him play.
But you named Tyler Boyd, but we can't talk about Van Jefferson.
Exactly.
See, the other part,
my point is when I brought up Tyler Boyd, y'all dismissed it real quick.
Because he hasn't been that good.
What he is, and he's not.
We dismissed it, compared him to the
Rams.
Rams.
He hasn't been that good over the last few years, and that's just a fact. Look at the stats. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, you're going to have to put somebody over the top on Cooper Kupp.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
If you don't believe B-Legend, they're going to attack that.
I do think the Bengals will be a playoff team for the next few years, but another Super Bowl appearance, nah.
Who is Adam Kent?
And Higgins had over 1,000 yards too. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. But it's like D tried to say earlier. Okay, you got Jalen Ramsey on Jamar Chase. I respect that. But what other corner do the Rams have? What's his name? Darius Williams, is his name?
Williams. He's a good cover. He's just short, so you can throw.
And T. Higgins is huge.
Yeah, you can throw.
But the reason why it's big though, hot dog, is that if you just look at the game, and again, I just watch highlights of the Bengals. It's always big plays that Jamar Chase makes.
Yep.
So if you literally take him out of the game, because technically he was out of that game yesterday until he made a couple big catches. Mm-hmm. If you take him out of the game, they're nothing.
Higgins had over 100 yards yesterday.
I know, but what I'm saying is before he got those cuts, he was non-existent.
I wouldn't say the Bengals are nothing without Jamar Chase, because I do feel like Higgins and
I'm talking about in that game. That game, in this game in 2 weeks, you take Jamar Chase out of that game, they're done.
I think we seen an example of something a year ago with Tampa Bay and how they play defense on Patrick Mahomes.
That's right.
And I think you're going to see something very similar coming from the Rams as far as the pressure that they're going to bring from the outside. And Joe Burrow's just not going to have the time to throw to those receivers. Not saying he can't get it done. I just think they're going to do something similar in the game.
That I can agree with, defense. I can agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. Q.
Yeah.
Hey, make sure you get Adam Kent on this show.
You know what?
He's a true fan, bro.
Hold on. I was gonna surprise y'all next week, but he's coming on the show next week before the Super Bowl.
That's perfect. He deserves it. He's always watching. He's always commenting. He definitely
traveling because I won't talk to him.
Adam, matter of fact, Adam Kent and Willie asked to be on the show. Well, I asked him to come on the show next week for the Super Bowl.
What do you want to ask him, Legend? How Burrow just dominated your son yesterday?
No,
is that what you want to ask him?
No. Before I engage with him, I just want to understand his mindset. To understand, is he sane or is he insane? Because if he's insane, I'm not going to entertain it at all.
It's called a fanatic. He's a true fanatic.
He's a true fan.
And that's okay. And what I'm saying on that, Ralph, if he's a true fanatic, I'll let him have his
absolutely
moment on and do what he needs to do because he's a fanatic. He's not a football guy. He's a fanatic.
I'm sure he's going to have something to say.
That's fine.
I reached out to him and Willie today about coming on next week's show because they Bengals fans, man. So they definitely will be in the building.
Hey, when can we get Reginald on the show, man? Because he came for us last week.
He got to get out of jail first. He got to get out of jail.
Everybody's in jail.
Hey, I'm so mad that I wasn't here. We ain't gonna get into it. I don't want to dive into it. But the disrespect that Hot Dog gave to Peyton Manning, that's all I'm gonna leave it at that.
And Aaron Rodgers, you too.
I'm leaving it there. I'm leaving it there. Hey, but Hot Dog, you upset me last week with some of the stuff you were saying about Peyton. But we're gonna leave it there. We'll talk about it another time.
He got realistic.
I ain't wasting no time about Peyton Manning.
I get it.
He said he was overrated, but then he said, you know what? Maybe overrated was a little bit too harsh. So he took back the overrated part.
Yeah, you a little bit too aggressive with that, man. You know,
he was, bro.
People may want to put their hands on you, Hot Dog.
I'll just tell you how it is, man.
To the Bengals fan, I like Jamar Chase, but I think Deebo Samuel prepared us for anything they can do with Jamar Chase.
True.
There's no more explosive receiver in the league besides Tyreek Hill than Deebo Samuel.
That's a fact.
And so,
man,
that's why I'm not
y'all better get that tackling in line before the Super Bowl because Deebo, my God.
Hey, D,
like
don't worry about it, man.
tackles on that touchdown.
We had the number one rushing team in the NFL to 50 yards rushing last night.
I saw it.
That's what I'm trying to say, man. They're going to stop the run, man. Joe Mixon, I mean, that's irrelevant.
It might be a blowout.
I'm just trying to tell you, they're going to force him into throwing the ball. Who they going to throw it to? T. Higgins?
Pat Mahomes scored 10 points last
year. The disrespect you have for T. Higgins is
because
phenomenal.
He's been trash for years.
T. Higgins is only a second-year player.
No, it's not. No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He ain't been there long. He was just at Clemson.
He was a rookie last year.
Okay, well, he's trash last year. He's trash this year.
Oh, my God, man. What? You talk about want to throw hands.
Well, you know what? That's what you get for being disrespectful.
Yeah, you were disrespectful to Peyton Manning, bro. Yes.
Well, Legend, I'm sorry you weren't here last week to defend your other son. You got 4 or 5 of them, apparently.
I only got 2.
You got 2.
So the conversation that came up last week for all the people watching the show that didn't last week was Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers. Is that the topic of conversation we had last week?
It was a broader topic.
It was is Aaron Rodgers the new Peyton Manning?
So somebody was going to get disrespected in that conversation.
Yeah.
It should have been Aaron Rodgers.
And it was Aaron Rodgers.
It still is.
But you went in on Peyton, though, bro. It's just like he was nobody.
All I did was explain to y'all that Peyton Manning's had good receivers his whole career, and he got busted in the Super Bowl. What kind of goat gets busted in the Super Bowl?
What do you mean who gets busted in the Super Bowl? There's a lot of teams get busted.
No, Legend. I said what kind of goat gets busted in the Super Bowl? What kind of goat? What kind of great quarterbacks get busted in the Super Bowl?
What's the next? I didn't even want to get into it, bro.
Yeah,
what's
man.
the next topic,
I'm with you, Ralph. Hey, Ralph, I'm with
the
you, man. Let's go, man. Let's go to the next one, man.
Why ain't nobody answer my question?
Because you're not making sense, man.
You win, bro.
So Peyton Manning didn't get busted in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he did. Seattle destroyed him.
Okay.
The Bulls destroyed him.
Okay.
Oh man. Somebody said, "What up, Mello? It's brother JoJo." Who
Well,
else?
no,
I mean, you know, that's the Legion of Boom.
Man, Tom Brady beat him.
They wasn't. They still wasn't.
Oh, they gave it away.
It don't matter, Daniel. Who won the game?
They gave it away.
Seattle for sure.
They gave it away.
Okay.
Get the ball tomorrow, son. The game's over with.
And they gave it away, but they weren't in a position. They weren't in a position like Peyton Manning was the year before that. He got busted 43-8.
Peyton Manning is 2 for 2 in Super Bowls. I'm good, man. I'm good.
2 and 2. Good. Okay.
He's 2 and 2.
Okay.
Well, Super Bowls, he's got 4.
Hey, man, wait a minute. Hold on. I think we all can agree. Get Andrew Morrell off this show. I think we can all agree to that. I think we all can agree to that.
That's a fact, though, Andrew.
That's a fact. Eagles were the last team to beat Brady in the Super Bowl.
That's a fact, bro.
I mean,
they won one Super Bowl in the
season. Let him get to the Super Bowl. Sorry.
My God.
I mean,
you know, Brady just went on CNN talking about he still ain't made no decision yet. I guess Brady just got to upstage the Super Bowl. We
ain't made no decision yet. We still talking it over with our team, and we gonna figure out what we gonna do. We got to look at this roster.
Nah, y'all praying he come back. Y'all know y'all crash. He don't come back.
We gotta see what we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And then after we make our decision, then we gotta look at Russell Wilson, see if we can trade for him and get him down to Tampa.
If Tom Brady don't come back, y'all gonna go back to the Steve Spurrier days. That's what y'all gonna do.
They just gonna go get Jameis. They gonna go back and get Jameis.
We're not gonna be bad. I'm gonna tell you why it's not gonna be bad. Because for one, Sean Payton's not in New Orleans no more, so there's that.
True.
The Falcons is still the Falcons. They rebuilding, so there's that.
True.
The Carolina
True.
Panthers got Sam Darnold as their cornerback, so quarterback,
True.
there's that.
No argument here.
No argument. I was wrong about that, bro.
How about to
I
have
called that one wrong.
So the NFC South is about to be wide open. As the
Wide
worst
open,
team.
bro.
I think you know at some point you lose Arians too. If you don't lose them this year, you lose them next year.
I think so.
I actually thought that we was gonna lose him this season, but I mean, I don't see why he's holding on for another season.
Todd Bowles is going to be around
I figured
too.
he would leave when Tom Brady left. So if Tom
It's
Brady
still possible. Still
I see
possible.
Bruce Arians leaving with him as well.
Todd Bowles is sticking around. Ain't he got a head coaching job, right?
He ain't got a head coaching job, but I'm glad you brought that up.
He's black. He's black.
Yeah, facts.
The lack of minorities in the NFL getting hired. The Jets. I'm not the Jets. The Giants just had made a head coach. Got a head coach. Then the Bears hired a head coach.
Yeah.
No,
Not the Bears.
Oh yeah. They did. Yeah.
The Bears just named the head coach.
The Green Bay Packers offensive.
Denver
No.
Broncos. They just got a head
No.
coach.
That was Denver.
Indianapolis.
Defensive coordinator, Mike Effelbus.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator from Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's who the Chicago Bears hired.
Which makes no sense.
Apparently,
like
Byron
I
said,
said in our message, that is a perfect example.
Absolutely.
Why I do not root for them.
The Packers quarterback coach is the Bears offensive coordinator. My bad.
I don't understand why everybody hated on Mike Effelbus for.
We had a lot of.
What has he done?
In the NFL over the past
The
couple of
Colts
days.
defense has been top 10. They had a lot of injuries this year.
Oakland.
Mike Effelbus is a good.
Go ahead,
will be
Q.
a good
This
coach.
leads into what you're talking about, Q.
Yeah, now I'm looking at the comments. So you had the Las Vegas Raiders. They just hired Josh McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels.
The Chicago Bears just had a hire. The Denver Broncos just had a hire. Who else just hired a coach?
The Giants, right?
The Giants.
Brian Dabo.
Yeah.
So the only really head coaching opening vacancy right now is the Saints
Vikings.
And the Jaguars. And the Dolphins. And the Texans.
Because the Vikings haven't hired anybody yet, right?
Nah, I think
they're looking at Harbaugh though.
Yeah.
I thought Harbaugh was going. Apparently, Miami's about to hire Harbaugh.
There was a.
They've been wanting them. That's been a thing.
Well, first they thought he was gonna go to the Raiders, then it was somebody else, and now
Thank you, Donovan. How does Josh McDaniels get
that is a horrible hire.
We can get on into that, Donovan. So will the NFL ever change their hiring practices on how they go about hiring minorities? The NFL is, I would say, about 85% African American, but yet you only have how many black head coaches?
Like two. One.
Marvin Williams. I mean, not Marvin Williams.
Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin's the only one.
He is. There's only one.
Should probably be
Brian Flores about to get a job though.
Yeah, Byron left.
He
should have already got
it.
He
gonna catch the Texans. Oh,
bro, Josh McCown was getting a second interview for the Texans.
I told y'all
Are we
that.
serious?
I told y'all that.
Are we serious?
What's Robert Saleh? What's his ethnicity? I'm not for sure.
Who?
Yeah, I'm not for sure. I don't think
He's
black, though.
he's a minority. I think he's black though.
I don't think so, bro.
He might be Indian or Arabic.
I don't think
I forgot about Robert Saleh though.
But he ain't no brother.
He ain't black.
No,
disrespect if he is, but I don't
will
think
the NFL ever change and adapt their hiring practices? Daniel, what's your thoughts, man?
I don't, and this is the reason why I just don't see it. The NFL is, I mean, baseball's a little different. I don't like to get into baseball because baseball is like the only sport that don't put their best players in the Hall of Fame because they have this honorable code.
Right.
But the NFL,
shout out to Barry Bonds.
Yeah, the NFL is like still the slave master mentality, and I don't want to get into all that. But I don't see if Eric Bieniemy doesn't have a job.
Come on, bro.
They used to say black quarterbacks were not smart enough to play in the NFL, quote unquote. So if Eric Bieniemy can run the best offense in the NFL for 3 years, or at least top 3 offense, and he still don't have a job, then why would they go hire a defensive guy? So I just don't.
Come on, man.
So
I don't even think Bieniemy even got interviewed. I think he
got one interview with us. I know the Broncos interviewed him.
And
he got one interview with the Texans last offseason. That was it.
But they said he doesn't interview well. That's why he doesn't get a job. He doesn't interview well.
What is interviewing well?
But wait a minute. And my next
That's
question is: and does he really run the offense, or does Andy Reid run the offense?
No,
and then there goes. See, that's a problem right there.
I'm
because it only becomes a topic when we're talking about a black coordinator. When it's a white coordinator, we never ask that same exact question.
No, I've always asked that when it comes to Andy Reid.
That's all I'm saying. 5 years. Look how many coaches that coached under Sean McVay's already got jobs.
Look how many coaches been coaching under Andy Reid that don't got a job. Nagy, Peterson. Come on, man.
McVay's been a 5-year head coach. He's already got 5 guys' jobs.
But I don't think those guys ran the offense either, Ralph. I think Andy Reid runs the offense. I just think they got a
So why did they get the job? So
no, I disagree with that, hot dog. I mean,
why did they get the job?
You watch the game, you can clearly see that the enemy calls the play.
It's just disrespect to the man, bro. It's flat out disrespect to even say that shit, man.
I mean,
like, honestly,
if you think about it, they were talking about they were going to hire Leftwich, right? Jacksonville. What happened there?
So the Leftwich situation is he's not gonna. Well, he
has a problem with the upper management.
They have to get rid of the GM that's already in place. He wants a totally new GM, so they can have their own connection and build the team how they want to.
And so he don't set himself up for failure, man.
But
so he don't try to get all the blame.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, Brian Leftwich ain't gonna have no job either.
Nope. I think he'll.
I think he'll get the Jaguars job.
This is my thing. If Bruce Arians was to retire this offseason, then they're going to promote Brian Leftwich to the head coach.
Or Todd Bowles. It could be Todd Bowles too.
Well, I mean, either or, but I think they would much rather
Leftwich.
Leftwich because he's an offensive-minded guy. They have Mike Evans, potentially Godwin, et cetera, et cetera. So they want to keep that offense going. So I believe he would get promoted versus Todd Bowles. But man, Ralph, tell me your thoughts again on the whole NFL. Do you think they're going to change their hiring practices?
Man, I get intense when we talk about this, bro, because it just becomes the same old. We ask the same questions. You implement the Rooney Rule, and it don't mean squat, bro. It don't mean nothing. You have qualified men. I don't care about their skin color, but we are talking about it because we're talking about black coaches. But you have qualified men who aren't getting the jobs that they should have. Brian Flores should still be the head coach in Miami.
Right.
They wanted to put more faith in Tua as far as the upper management than they wanted to put in Flores. Flores had that team rocking and rolling.
Right.
I don't think Flores was the problem. I think Tua was the problem. Him and Tua didn't get along, so they had to make a choice, and he ends up losing his job. Enemy. The man should have had a job years ago, man. He's proven. Just like Peterson, just like Nagy. He should have got a chance. He's been under Andy Reid. They've had, like we said, one of the top offenses, and he is the man calling the plays. I don't want to hear this crap where Andy Reid's calling the plays. He's the man calling the plays. So, man, and I think the biggest issue is the NFL's not in control. It's the ownership that's in control. So that's why the NFL can implement whatever rule they want to implement, but it's never going to change anything because the owners are going to do what they want to do. They don't want to give these men a chance because they don't have faith that they can get the job done. And let's call a spade a spade. That's just, it is what it is. So honestly, it's not fair. I don't think it'll ever change. It pisses me off to even talk about it. And it's sad, man, that we're still having this conversation.
Hey, damn, Ralph came through with the take today. Okay, Ralph, I did. Stephen A. Ralph, but be legend, man. What's your thoughts? Will the NFL ever get their hiring practices right?
Well, we talked about this a little bit, offline, in our chat, and I've just said it flat out. I mean, you got to call a spade a spade. Here's the deal. The NFL or these NFL teams are ran by white billionaires.
Facts.
And so the reality is what? You're going to tell this billionaire that he's got to hire. First of all, you're going to tell him who he got to hire.
No, you're not.
That ain't going to happen. Number two, then you're going to tell me that he's got to hire a black man. That ain't happening.
Facts.
If you think that racism doesn't exist in the NFL,
you're a fool.
I mean, it's just
compared to other sports. Absolutely,
it's just reality. Listen, this thing goes all the way down to quarterbacks.
Absolutely,
they don't want to. The reality is they don't want black quarterbacks. They want white quarterbacks, and that's just a fact. Now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there are not any good black quarterbacks out there, but if you just think about it, most of them, are white. That's what they want. Trevor Lawrence, the golden child, right? Joe Burrow, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, yeah, okay, he mixed, but the bottom line to it is that's what they want. It's always been that way. Meaning the quarterbacks are always the leader of the team, and so most of those guys are white guys. And so you think that they're going to turn around and they're going to allow a Rooney Rule or something to dictate to these billionaires that, we got to hire a black. They're going to tell you to kiss their what. It's not going to happen. It's not the NBA. It's not MLB. This is white privilege. And I'm not saying that from a racial perspective. I'm just keeping it real. It's white privilege. And they say, we bought the team. We're going to do what the hell we want to do with the team. Hey, they pay Roger Goodell.
Facts.
Okay.
Handsomely.
So Jerry Jones and these guys, they are the ones that's running this league.
They are.
So it's not like the NBA where the NBA's got the player association and the players are running the league and the players are like, hey, we need to get our money, and you got LeBron and all these guys that are sitting up there, Chris Paul and all them running it. Yeah, you got Troy Vincent that's heading the Players Association, but I mean he ain't got no damn power.
Nope.
He's just a dude up there trying to represent the players, and he's getting paid.
He's a face,
and that's about it. His power only gonna go so far. So at the end of the day, it ain't gonna never change. They've been trying to institute this thing for I don't know how long. But you're trying to tell me, if you think about, all these young guys, the McVays, the Taylors, all these guys that's been getting jobs over the years, right? They've been getting jobs because they're like, they're just these creative minds and this and that. You trying to tell me that none of these brothers have creative minds?
Legend, not to cut you off, I just want to put something. Joe Judge got a head coaching position, being a special teams coordinator for what, 1 or 2 years?
2 years,
go back,
yeah.
Go back, Legend. I'm sorry.
That was a horrible hire too.
You got the guy who coaches Carolina. What's his name?
Matt Rule. That was
should have never got the job.
Right. Trash. So you trying to tell me that none of these guys, none of these brothers that's in the league that's coaching, you telling me Eric Bieniemy or any of these guys, they're not
y'all for real ain't, in my opinion, ain't naming the most qualified black coach who should be in the league right now.
Who's that? Marvin Lewis?
Jim Caldwell.
But Jim, the reason why they're not going to take,
I think Marvin Lewis over Jim Caldwell.
The reason why they're not going to take Jim Caldwell is because, again, Jim Caldwell's 60-something years old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so but man, everywhere he's won.
I'm just saying, hot dog. I understand your point, but at the end of the day, what's the trend? The trend is to get the
young, innovative,
young guy that's able
analytics.
to play.
Analytics.
Jim Caldwell, he's got knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not going to put him as a head coach. I can see him being something like a
offensive coordinator.
Yeah, something like that. But they're not going to put him as a head coach because in their mind,
too.
He can't relate to the players. So all we could do is try to pick the Brian Leftwich's or the young guys, Eric Bieniemys, because they're young and that's what they're looking for. But at the end of the day, man, these dudes ain't hiring them dudes, man. They are not gonna allow the Rooney Rule or anybody else to tell them who the hell they need to hire. They're gonna say, hey, whatever, and do what they do, and we're gonna sit up there all the time, just like we did with the Bears, and say, what? You hiring who? What?
Right.
And then they give us the lame excuses of he doesn't interview well. Yeah. Get out of here with that.
And then you turn around and then you hire, offensive coordinator. You say, you hired who?
Yeah, that Broncos hire made me scratch my head.
It doesn't make sense.
Hold on, and then you turn around, and then the GM that you just hired turns around and said, we gonna take over the NFC North and we never giving it back. Really?
Who said that?
The new guy that they just hired from Kansas City. Really?
Didn't the Vikings just hire a black GM?
I think he's black or he's mixed or something. But my point is, really? And that's your hire? Now you told them when they hired you that you want to complete 100 autonomy in hiring the coach and this, your whole staff. And that's who you hire?
Come on, bro.
Drew, what did the Eagles coach do before y'all hired him? I need to know the answer.
Trash.
And Doug Peterson's gonna get a job. Remember that.
So, hot dog, I'm really interested to hear your take, man. How do you feel about the NFL's hiring practices of minorities? You being obviously being the minority on this one.
He kind of took my line from you, Q, because I was going to say I don't know if the viewers have noticed I'm the only white guy on the show.
So what do you think about the NFL's hiring practices of minorities?
I think there's a lot of black coaches that deserve a chance, and there's black coaches that have had a chance but should still be in the league.
Absolutely.
I'm with Ralph. I'd even think about Marvin Lewis. I think Marvin Lewis should still have a job in the league.
Absolutely.
I think Jim Caldwell, despite what legends say about analytics, younger, whatever, I still think Jim Caldwell has a great mind because the Lions were trash before he got there. He turned them around instantly.
And they got fired from Matt.
I think Jim Caldwell should have a job. I think,
for Matt Patricia.
And he got fired.
That was terrible. Matt Patricia's horrible. I think Jim Caldwell should have a job. I think Marvin Lewis should have a job. I think Brian Flores getting fired in Miami was downright criminal. I'm sure there's other ones I can name off. I can't really think off top. Eric Bieniemy. The rumor is he doesn't interview well. Okay, fine. You can say whatever you want. But Matt Nagy got a job. Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl. You can't really hate on Doug Peterson. But Matt Nagy got a job.
Nick Sirianni was a wide receivers coach that had.
Come on now. Talk about it.
Nick Sirianni what?
Was a wide receivers coach that had never called plays before.
No, he was the offensive coordinator for the Colts.
Drew said he was just a wide receivers coach.
No, he was the offensive coordinator for the Colts. Andrew doesn't know what he's talking about.
They probably promoted they promoted him to that job for a few months and he got the
you're probably right, Ralph. So there's a lot of black coaches in the league that deserve a chance to have a NFL head coaching job. And it's just not happening. I don't understand why it's not happening in the NFL. But in the NBA, I watched this the other day, and I think I brought this topic up in the conversation. There are 14 black NBA coaches, head coach in the NBA. 14. And I think there's 30 teams in the NBA, maybe 32. I'm not mistaken. There's 32 in the NBA. So almost half NBA teams are covered by black coaches. But there's only 2 right now in the NFL. If we're counting the guy from the Jets, Salah, we're not really sure. And we got Mike Tomlin.
He's a minority, so we'll count him.
So we'll count him as a minority. So there's only 2.
The crazy part to me is I don't want to say us, but I'm going to say us. I'm speaking for us. We're not asking for much. We got 32 teams. We can't get 10 of them that's black.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't get 12 that's black. We ain't even asking for half. We can't get 5 to 10. It just doesn't make sense to me, man.
The name of the game is to win, right? You're supposed to be winning.
I don't get it.
You're supposed to be winning.
I don't get it.
And
it's not even just that. Not to cut y'all off. It's that when black assistants, black associate head coaches, black position coaches, whenever they do get a head coaching position, it's in a position to where they're already set up to fail anyway.
every time.
Right. So I'll give you an example off that, Q.
Go ahead.
Steve Wilkes, the guy that came in before Cliff Kingsbury, he was there 1 year. He was a defensive coordinator for Carolina. He came in 1 year. I think they ended up 4-12. He was fired after a year. Really didn't get a chance. You brought in Cliff Kingsbury, who had a losing record in college, and they gave him whatever he wanted. They became a good team. I mean, I think they lost. They almost went to the playoffs his first year.
But the point to what you're making, Hot Dog, is they gave him time to build.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's not right. They gave him time to get pieces in there and, get guys like J.J. Watt, A.J. Green, D-Hop, et cetera, et cetera. How do we know that he couldn't build that same type of team? And so when you get these black head coaches, it's almost like we have to take the scrum jobs, because if we don't, we're not going to get a head coach with job. Well, I'll give you an example, Hot Dog. The Dallas Cowboys position, when it came available, it was already Mike McCarthy's job.
That's what I was trying to say. The Cowboys interviewed Marvin Lewis, of course, to abide by the Rooney Rule. In my opinion, Marvin Lewis is a better coach than Mike McCarthy.
So, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with this Saints position, because for one, it's in the South. Yeah, I know Sean Payton did an excellent job.
They're interviewing
Super Bowl. So I'm cool with all that, but I really want to see how they're going to handle it moving forward. If they're going to interview a lot of minority coaches, or do they already have their guy in mind?
The list that I've seen so far, they've got 3 lined up. 2 of them are minority. That's Brian Flores and Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator for the Lions.
Okay.
And then, of course, Pete Carmichael, which I think Pete Carmichael was there for 16 years, offensive coordinator. He deserves an interview at least for the Saints.
Of course.
But I believe the Saints will go minority.
Who was the coach of the Texans this year?
It was David Culley, who was a black coach.
And how long did he get?
He was
Just 1 year.
One season.
1 year.
So, you know,
my God. What do you know?
He was an emergency hire to try to keep Deshaun Watson because of the rumors. He was too old.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say anything. Yeah. But he was a wide receivers coach for the Ravens.
Yeah,
but
he was an emergency hire.
He was already set up to fail. It was like, man, you know what? Let's just hire this guy
again.
Right.
That's what we're talking about. He was already set up to fail, so they knew what was going to happen. We'll just give him this year, make it look good, cut him after 1 year, bro.
And to hot dog, Nick Sirianni never called plays in Indianapolis, even though he was the offensive coordinator. He never called plays.
Yeah, Frank Reich called the plays.
But guess what? They never questioned if he was calling.
I questioned this. I thought it was a terrible hire to begin with.
Come on, bro. It's just the little tricks that they use, man, to use excuses not to hire, man.
He never called plays, though.
It ain't happening.
Be legend. Take us out on this topic, man. Your final thoughts on this topic about the NFL not hiring practices. Take us out of this topic. What's your synopsis on what's going to happen moving forward?
Well, I don't think anything's going to change. I think that everything's going to remain the same. I think that these owners are going to continue to hire white coaches. I think they're going to continue to find excuses why not to hire brothers, even though they are they show that they're more than capable of running teams. But at the end of the day, I think that racism still, like I said earlier, racism still exists in the NFL. I don't think that it changes. I don't think that it ever will change. I think that, it's okay to have, the brothers go out and play on the field and put everything on the line on the field and get hurt and entertain and everything else.
And make them money.
And build the big play pens for Jerry Jones and all that and make the money and things like that. But in the power positions, man, I don't think that is ever going to change, man. I think Mike Tomlin is he is a unicorn, anomaly.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that the way that Pittsburgh does their business and the way they handle business, I think their organization is they're unicorns themselves.
Absolutely.
But I think to the other side to this, and I was having a conversation, with Tasha about this. I mean, we also have to take into consideration that when we talk about these jobs, other than probably the Miami job and probably the Saints job, all these jobs that come open, reality is what? They're not good jobs. Mm-hmm. I mean, so while, we want to bash and talk about the fact that these guys aren't getting hired for good jobs, a lot of these jobs that do come open are bad jobs. They're not good jobs.
That's true. That's true.
So I think that you have an anomaly here of when you think about the Saints and you think about the Dolphins. And I think that those are two good jobs, but the reality is I don't think they're going to get either one of the jobs. Well, they ain't going to get one in Miami because they just got rid of one.
Facts.
Right? So the only one that potentially you have the opportunity to get a job, a brother to get a job would probably be the Saints.
New Orleans, yeah.
And could that happen? It could happen. I'm not saying that it wouldn't because the Bensons, it could potentially do something like that, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did. So.
I actually, Legend, I think the Vikings job is a solid job. There's a lot of good key pieces on that team.
They do.
Yeah,
I agree.
It is, but you playing with Captain Kirk. So
that's true too. That's true too.
You're playing with you're losing money there. I mean,
that's Daniel's guy.
And in their defense, the defense is terrible. So
223 touchdowns, 90.
Look, I already knew. Talk to him, Daniel.
Well, listen, Captain Kirk. I mean, he got paid all that money. He's out there doing what he does. All I'm trying to say is just like you talk about Mahomes, you talk about Rodgers or whoever else. Coming up in the big game. Captain Kirk don't come up in the big game.
Come up in the big game. That's his only knock. But
that's his only knock.
Hey, man, I'd rather have Captain Kirk than number 4.
I feel you.
That's a good question, man. You know what?
Number 4 got 75.
Go ahead, Ralph. Go ahead, let me hear it.
Number 4 got 75, baby.
I'm on your side, hot dog. I'm on your side.
Once I got called racist because I said I didn't like number 4.
Don't listen to that, bro. Don't listen to that.
I will never forget I got called that because I said I did not think he was a good quarterback.
Yeah, I'm like, listen to
what?
That, bro.
So I guess you can only critique white quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess.
Yeah. Don't listen to that bullshit.
I
was like, what? Like, I like Quincy Carter, and I was only in middle school. Are you serious?
He said Quincy Carter.
If Quincy Carter would have stayed off drugs, he would have been a good quarterback.
Then he go, was that Georgia? Then he go Georgia.
Yeah. First round pick in 03.
Man.
Yeah.
But back to the Cincinnati Bengals. We got Jackpot Joe. I call him Jackpot Joe because dude is money in the clutch. If you don't believe me, ask Patrick Mahomes, who's sitting on the couch with me and Tom Brady right now. So anyway, with Joe Burrow leading his team to the Super Bowl in his first full season of starting, where should we rank Jackpot Joe among current quarterbacks? Ralph, this is your dude, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and cook.
No, that's my son. What are you talking about? That's my son.
Actually, because I'm about to get out of here, let me cook real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, cook, legend.
You know, hats off to Joe Burrow. You know, great accomplishment. You know, you're getting them there in the second year. All that's fine and dandy, but you ain't up there yet. Got a lot of work to do.
Top 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Top 10.
Closer
to 10 than 5.
That's fair.
Closer to 10 than 5. Okay. There's no way that he can hit the top 5. It's just not. He hasn't achieved anything close to that. I mean, he had a phenomenal year. You give him that. But come on, guys, let's pump our brakes. I mean, you know.
He's done more than.
It's one.
There you go, hot dog. There you go.
I'll wait my turn.
It's like one season, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, he's a top 5 quarterback." He's not. So let's stop the madness.
I don't. Okay, I'm gonna wait my turn.
I mean, listen. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm not gonna knock you, hot dog, Ralph.
Yes, sir.
Or D. It's just my opinion. He had a phenomenal year. I think he will be around for a very long time. I think he will compete, but he is not a top 5 quarterback, and I think he's closer to the back end of the top 10 than the middle. That's my top.
Yeah. I wouldn't put him top 5 either.
All right, big man, be careful.
All right, bro, be easy.
Go ahead, hot dog. Floor is yours. Go ahead, talk about yourself.
Hot dog.
I mean, I can't put him top 5 yet because it is 1 year. But I mean, a lot of people want to talk about Josh Allen. He's done more than what Josh Allen's done.
Talk about it, hot dog.
As far as what?
I mean, he got an AFC title ring.
Yes,
Josh Allen got
and a Super Bowl appearance.
That's what I'm saying. AFC title ring.
Yeah.
That's
what you got.
He's got that. I mean, right now you can go top 5. Shit. I'm not even gonna put Tom Brady there. Apparently, he's out the door.
Nah, put him up there. He's still in the league.
So you put Tom Brady up there. You put Patty Mayonnaise up there.
He's number 5.
You put Aaron Rodgers up there.
He's 6.
I mean, I'm just. I'd put Burrow over Herbert. I'd put him over Kyler Murray. I'd put him over. Honestly, you know what? Even though he's got an AFC title ring, I still put Josh Allen over Herbert. I'm sorry, over Burrow. So I say Burrow's about 7.
What about Lamar? Is Lamar below or above Burrow?
He's below.
Ooh, talk.
He's below. He's below.
That's why I asked the question. That's why.
But man, it's just Joe Burrow. He showed what he could do. You go out and get him. You think Joe Burrow's below Lamar Jackson, Adam?
Yeah.
He thinks Lamar Jackson is ranked, not ahead of them.
I mean, I'm a Louisville guy. I mean, I love Lamar, but Lamar's just
inconsistent.
One playoff victory, right?
Yeah, one playoff victory, but he got an MVP.
Huh?
He got an MVP though.
What did that MVP do?
The same thing it did for A-Rod, I guess. Absolutely nothing.
He had a good regular season.
He had a great regular season. He got him nowhere.
Hey, man. Hey, listen. I just presented the question. I just want to throw it out there because I think Joe Burrow deserves more credit than he's kind of getting. If we want to compare accolades, the only reason you wouldn't put Joe Burrow above maybe a Josh Allen because he hasn't played in the league long enough. He hasn't thrown the amount of touchdowns. He hasn't accumulated the amount of yards. But when we start going down this list of Herbert, I'm not putting Herbert above Burrow. I'm not putting Lamar Jackson above Burrow. Now, if you want to say Lamar has been in the league longer, he's accomplished more. He does have an MVP. I'll give him that. But what Joe Burrow's kind of accomplished in his 1.5 years being in the league, I feel like it's something that needs to be kind of looked at. I don't really know where I would put him. I don't know if he's top 5 yet. But I just wanted to throw this question out here to just kind of see how everybody felt. Because I feel like a lot of people are going to put names above Joe Burrow that haven't accomplished what he's accomplished, man. So I don't know. I don't know if he's top 5 yet. I think he's around 6 or 7 to me.
I like Adam Kent's list.
Outside of that,
I like Adam Kent's list.
So everybody who's watching right now and tuned into the show on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're watching, Twitter, we on there as well. Comment where you think Joe Burrow should rank in the NFL currently, right now as we sit. Daniel, go ahead, man. Floor is yours. Where would you rank Joe Burrow? Top 10, top 5, top 2?
He's top 10. Like I said, Joe Burrow's my guy. He's not top 5. I got to look. I'm not knocking. I don't think Herbert is out either. My bad. I had that beeping in the background. But I don't think Herbert is 5 either, but I'm definitely ranking him near Joe Burrow.
Above or below?
He's right there. First 2 seasons in the league, he's thrown 69 touchdowns. He's thrown for 9,400 yards. He's rushed for almost 600 yards. He's rushed for like 11 touchdowns. He's there. That team was in rebuild mode. They wasn't supposed to win nothing anyway. But you can't knock individual talent based on team accomplishments.
That is true, D, because Herbert is 2-0 against Joe Burrow. Herbert's 2-0 against Joe Burrow.
I mean, you see, how many records Herbert's already broken. Now, like I said, even with Josh Allen, we know Josh Allen's a dog, but sometimes a dog quarterback don't get it done for the team because the team didn't perform well. Mm-hmm. So I probably would go, if I had to rank them, let me look at these numbers. Of course, I'm going to keep Tom Brady in the top 2.
That was a good point about Willie Mays, though.
He still led the league in touchdowns this year. He still led the league in yards this year, even with all the injuries in Tampa Bay. So you got to keep him top 2. A-Rod, I mean, Derek Carr had a good year, but he had to throw a lot. He's out of my top 10.
I know.
He's in the top 10. Only person I would probably, I don't know. I don't have Dak in my top 10. That's me personally. He's probably
not no more. Not no more. Not no more. He's somewhere 15.
He's around 12 for me.
Bro, he ain't even that high.
He's 15.
He trash. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Number 4.
The only quarterback outside of the top 10 that I probably would move into the top 10 would be Kyler Murray. He'd be somewhere around 10. But everybody else, Brady, Stafford, Mahomes, Herbert, Burrow, Josh Allen. Kirk Cousins would probably be 10. I probably would put Murray around.
Kirk Cousins has got to be the greatest average quarterback of all time.
This is the thing, though.
Wait till you see number 4.
Nah.
Yeah, he really is number 4. He's the white number 4.
He is the white number 4.
He's always going to
No. Baker Mayfield is the white number 4.
Damn. Come on, man. Come on. Don't do that.
I'm just being real, Ralph. I'm being for real.
He's going to throw 35 touchdowns. They're not going to win nothing, though. That's Kirk Cousins for you.
You know what, man? I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of feeling Joe Cool, man. I'm gonna put Joe Cool right around the 6-7 mark.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm kind of sold on Buddy, man. I'm for real because he took a
7.
They won 4 games. They won 4 games last year, and to go to the Super Bowl and your first full season start like that says a lot.
And let's not forget the game before Joe got hurt. They went on the road and beat Tennessee.
So hey,
last year,
Donovan's got a point. Donovan said Herbert over Burrow. Herbert's coaches are dumb as.
He's right.
That's true.
It ain't Burrow's
I don't
fault
like that.
for
I don't
making
like
the
their
right
head
throws.
coach.
That's
That
been
ain't
the
his fault.
problem with the Chargers for like 3 years, though. They lose. If 1 or 2 plays go the other way, they end up being like 11-5 instead of being 7. That's just been their curse for them. So
Yeah, I mean, but then again, that just goes to it. You got to make those plays when it count, though.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, you got to make those plays when it counts. And right now, Joe Burrow, he's making those plays when it counts, and you got to give him the edge over Herbert. Even though Herbert got the edge over him record-wise, he just doesn't make the plays in the big games that puts the Chargers over the edge to where the Chargers are in the same position the Bengals are.
When they played that last game, he converted 4 fourth downs on one drive.
Yeah, Herbert put that team on his back at last game.
If he don't call that timeout, they're going to tie. They go to the playoffs. His coach is just dumb.
Agreed.
I mean, the Chiefs coaches is dumb. I mean, they on the 2-yard line and threw 4 straight passes.
And they out too.
So
that was more of arrogance to me. But,
so Willie Mays made a comment. He said leadership. So would you give the leadership to Burrow, or would you give the leadership to Herbert?
Give the leadership edge to Burrow, though.
I give it to Burrow.
And I think that's partly what you have to add into the equation also, is the way he's kind of controlling his team. I heard somebody say it earlier, like the swagger of this team is kind of controlled by Joe Burrow, man.
It is.
Like Joe Burrow, Joe Cool is a real thing, man. It's a real thing, bro.
Joe Cool, boy. Coolest white quarterback in the NFL right now.
Get the gap, man.
Did you comment when they asked him about was his chain fake?
Yeah.
He said, man, I make too much money to have my time.
Well, hey,
ain't no quarterback.
Overly confident, man, but you love it.
You know what Joe Burrow reminds me of?
Who's that?
He's the new Jim McMahon, but he got more talent.
Yeah.
Why would they even ask him was his chain fake? Like he's not a millionaire.
Because that's what they petty like that.
Because it was a stupid question. Because it was a dumb question. But anyways, man, time for the quick hitters of the show. I got 2 quick hitters for the fellas. This first one right here, I'm going to serve this up for my guy, Daniel. With Matthew Stafford going to the Super Bowl, Jared Goff also led the Los Angeles Rams to the Super Bowl as well. So the Stafford still have much to prove because Jared Goff also led the Rams to the Super Bowl. So does Matthew Stafford still have more to prove? And getting to the Super Bowl is not nearly enough. Daniel, what's your thoughts?
All right, this is going to be two quick parts. Matthew Stafford has already proved my point as far as him always being a top 10 quarterback, in my opinion, but he played for a losing organization. He was set up to fail. He only had 1,000-yard rusher in 12 years in Detroit. He never had a defense. And they still made the playoffs 3 times. So, like I said, 1 year in L.A., he's already got 3 playoff wins. That's as many as appearances as he made in 12 years in Detroit. So he's already proved the naysayers wrong. Now, for me, because of the standards that I have for my teams, as you see, I'm still wearing L.A. I'm
all day.
Man, you need to throw that hat away.
But I think that he has to win the Super Bowl because he is a 12-year veteran. In comparison to Goff was really a second-year quarterback. He didn't play much his rookie year. He also had terrible Jeff Fisher as his coach his rookie year. First year, he played under McVay. He made the playoffs. Second year, he went to the Super Bowl. So, to me, coming from what St. Louis was, that was just an accomplishment for Jared Goff, which was a question mark to make the Super Bowl.
Facts.
He was part of the reason why we didn't win a Super Bowl, but we also didn't have Cooper Gurley, so I didn't blame him. Yeah. But with Stafford being a 12-year veteran, he has to win the Super Bowl. I just think he has to win the Super Bowl because he's an experienced quarterback that is a good quarterback too. So
Hey, Donovan say Tom Brady's coming back. Fuck the reports. He's going out with a ring. But Hot Dog, this one's over for you. Kyle Shanahan in the playoffs in 2017 as the offensive coordinator for the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. In 2019 in the Super Bowl, blew a 20-10 lead to KC and Pat Mahomes, and just recently blew a 17-7 lead in the NFC Championship. So is Kyle Shanahan overrated as a coach?
I wouldn't say he's overrated, but I really think you need to get somebody in there that excels in time management because he looked like a young Mike McCarthy out there to me.
Ooh.
I think Kyle Shanahan is a phenomenal coach because remember what the 49ers were before he got there. It was almost an instant turnaround, if I'm not mistaken. So, no, I mean, I think a lot of teams, I think 85% of the teams would take Kyle Shanahan as a head coach, in my opinion.
That's a fact.
He's one of the great young minds. We talk about Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan. A lot of guys talk about him. So, no, I don't think he's overrated. I think he's a great coach. I like him a lot, but I think that his time, if he has a sore mark, it's an eyesore. It's his time management for sure.
Okay. So
but I would like to, if you don't mind, I'd like to comment on what you asked D a minute ago. Just real quick. I I think Matt Stafford's got to win because all they gave up for him. I know the D, we talked about this earlier, wasn't really a big deal to him because, some teams want to build through the draft. Some teams don't mind to build through the draft. They just want to take those picks and buy players. And that's okay. I have no problem with that. It's their picks. They do whatever they want with them.
Facts.
But I think Matt Stafford has got to win because of what all they gave up for him.
I think he just has to win just based on the man's been in the league this long. He's never really had a true chance to even be in the playoffs, let alone have a team that can advance in the playoffs. And he finally has that chance. And I think winning the Super Bowl will kind of solidify Matthew Stafford for what we've always said. He's always been a great quarterback. He's just always been in a shitty situation.
Right.
So
he just was up in Detroit where nobody really cares. Ralph, last quick hitter is for you. UK just blew number 5 Kansas out of their own building this past weekend. So is UK have the makings to be a Final Four team, even though they got smashed by Duke? Go ahead.
Hard question, bro. I'm trying to be different. I'm not just gonna say something because it sounds good or because I'm speaking from my heart, using feelings.
There we go.
I feel like UK is a solid team. I like the chemistry of this team this year. It's just a matter of who's going to step up outside of Willer or Tata Washington. Who's going to be able to penetrate and get us a basket when we need a basket. Now, what Brooks did in last game is something that us as UK fans, we did not see it coming. The guy has not showed up this year, and sometimes he looks like a bum out there on the court. But I love what I've seen out of him. If he can do that on a more consistent basis, that would give us another scoring option that we truly need. So as of right now, I'm not going to say Final Four, but I will say a Sweet 16 team.
I think his UK team has the makings of a Final Four team. But, man, I'll tell you, one of my favorite players in college basketball plays for UK, that big linebacker y'all got playing down low.
Come on.
Sheway, that big linebacker y'all got.
I'm not Machine. I'm Oscar.
Oscar. What'd you say, Daniel?
I'm not Machine. I'm Oscar.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. Solid as a rock, bro.
Stop it, bro. He did not say that.
I swear he said it.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not a machine. I'm Oscar. Stop it. That's a child talk.
I think y'all do have the makings of a Final Four team. Y'all got solid point guard play, solid defense, low post presence. It's a go-to scorer in Ty Washington. So y'all have the makings of a Final Four team, but like you said, can they all consistently?
I tell you what, though, for real, it's according to how the brackets line up. There could be 2 SEC teams in the Final Four because Auburn is nice.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Hot Dog. We would have whooped that Auburn last week if we had Tata playing. If Tata didn't get hurt in that game, we would have won that game. But good win by Auburn. But we're gonna see y'all again. Y'all got to come to Rupp.
Yeah, I think Donovan nailed it on the head right there. That's probably the 4 best teams in the league in the country.
I would agree with that. I would agree. We've lost to 2 of those teams.
But Purdue always chokes in the tournament, though.
They do.
They always choke in the tournament.
So does Gonzaga.
Nah, Gonzaga.
They at least make the ship, though.
Yeah.
They lose, but they make it.
Where's North Carolina going to finish?
They go
in what? The conference?
Hey man, Louisville might beat them tomorrow for real.
You talking about we gonna finish in the conference?
Bro? We got going NIT this year.
Hey man, listen. This is how bad it is.
But I'll say this: we going home the first.
This is how bad it is right now. Tomorrow night, Louisville and North Carolina play each other. They're giving away 2 for $50 tickets.
Oh wow!
I think it's tomorrow night, Louisville, North Carolina. It's at Louisville, I believe. I think it's Louisville.
I might go up there for the hell of it.
I know. That's cheap tickets. You might as well.
Tickets is gonna be $10.
They giving away tickets like the circuses in town, bro.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
The circus is in Louisville. That's what the circus.
You're right. I agree with 100%.
The circus is in Louisville. That's what it's. But anyways, man, we appreciate everybody who kicked it with us for the whole entire show.
Yes,
man,
sir.
We had a jam-packed show. As always, if you can't sit down and watch the show on your phone, you can always download the Beyond the Game app on your Amazon Fire Stick. Check it out on there. If you can't sit down and watch the show, you can always go back and listen to the podcast on all major podcast streaming platforms. So again, we appreciate everybody who tuned in for another great show. Also, every single show everybody who tunes in, man, take 5 seconds out your life and hit the share button, man.
Come
Yeah,
on,
man,
now.
y'all liking this dumb SHIT, man. Y'all get on my nerves.
I mean, if people can share Rihanna being pregnant all day long, do you
Come
can
on,
share
man.
beyond the game just
Y'all
one
some
time,
haters.
man. I mean,
If you watch the show and you go comment, you can't share.
you can't hit the
Can't
share
like
button.
it.
What are y'all
You
doing?
can't like it.
That's all we ain't asking for a kidney. We ain't asking for a
Oh,
liver.
man.
We just asking you to hit the share
We
button.
even
Dang, even I'm not asking for a heart.
That's it, man. You know what? If any ladies are watching, any lady who shares it, you get to date with one of these 3 guys. Hot Dog, Ralph, I
Bro,
dare you.
now you can't, bro. I'm off the market, bro.
Hey, Daniel said, "Nah, I'm good."
Before we get out of here, we
I
great.
didn't say I'm good, but you know.
Oh,
Yeah, that sound good. I'm out too.
Take that back. Take that back.
I ain't taking it back. But
Y'all
we
stupid.
out
I'm out.
of here, man. As always, we want you to treat somebody how you want somebody to treat your mama, y'all. We out of here.
Peace.